Welcome to the City of Caldwell podcast. We have Jessica Watts with us today.
Hello.
From the Caldwell School District. Jessica, can you just tell us just who you are, just your upbringing, how you got to where you are now, just so people can get to know you as the person, not just you as...
The camera girl.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I'm Jessica Watts. I'm the Director of Communications for the Caldwell School District. And this is going to be my third school year, so I'm really grateful. I kind of feel like I finally have my feet wet and know what's coming, so I'm grateful for that. But before I took this lovely position, I've kind of been all over the place, so literally and figuratively. I actually am a native Idahoan. I went to Rocky Mountain High School. I was the first graduating class to go all 4 years in Meridian, which is really exciting. I got to pick the mascot and do all that jazz, so that was fun. But after I graduated, I played 2 years of collegiate volleyball in Wenatchee, Washington, and then transferred to Arizona State after I did not play volleyball there. I just went to school because I always knew I wanted to go to ASU. I have family in Arizona because they have a really good journalism program. So I went to the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism there, which was an amazing school and an amazing opportunity. And then I graduated with a degree in sports journalism. And after that, I went to the University of Arkansas at Little Rock. I was employed there, and I worked in their athletics department. I was like their first video production intern. So I went to all the athletic events, filmed that, did feature stories, would send things to the news, things like that, all athletics. So I was very busy. I have a very big appreciative for people in college athletics. It's a lot of work. Then after that, I went to Middle Tennessee State University. It was a little bit bigger of a school, so I got to cover football. So I was doing the same thing, but just in a little bigger of an athletics department. So that was really fun. And then after that, I moved up to Helena, Montana, where I was a reporter for ABC Fox Montana up there for 2 years. That was a whirlwind. I learned a lot of ups and downs, but I'm very grateful for that opportunity. Got me out of my comfort zone, taught me a lot of things. And then after that, I realized I was kind of not wanting to be a reporter anymore. I wanted to do the communications realm of things, and I wanted to come back to Boise, the Boise area, the Treasure Valley, where I grew up. And the Caldwell School District was hiring, and they hired me, and I guess the rest is history, and now I'm here. But that was a really long-winded answer.
No, all good. Yeah, thanks for letting us know. Tell us, what are some pastimes or things that you do, and what kind of you tick also?
Well, volleyball is a big part of my life, but also rodeo is also a big part of my life. I went to high school in Meridian, so it's not normally, I guess, the most rodeo high school. So I didn't really tell people that I rodeoed much. I didn't want to be known as the horse girl. So I'm kind of like finally coming out of my shell to let people know that I rodeo. That's why Caldwell is so great, because it is a very kind of a rural city-ish, so they're very welcoming of that. But I also coach volleyball on the side, club volleyball, and then I also barrel race and team rope a little bit as well. It's a very expensive hobby, but I enjoy doing it, so.
Nice. So you're a busy person then. Very
busy. I pay a lot of money for rent at my house, and I'm never there, but it's worth it.
It's like, I sleep there.
Yeah.
That's where my stuff is.
So.
I have a closet there, and...
But I enjoy it, though. I really, I'm going to start coaching my third season of club volleyball, and I really enjoy that. It's really fun. Just because volleyball has given me so much, so it's really fun to give back to the sport that has been so fun. And I had a really good group of girls last year, so it was really fun to bond with them.
So you brought up a good point. You said it without saying it. I'm just going to bring it up. But I would consider you to be a young adult still. Young adult is what is a young adult, right?
Yeah.
Is it 18? Is it 25? Is it... But I think I would classify you in that young adult world or season of life. What would you say? I would consider yourself to be a very successful young adult.
Thank you.
In Caldwell or the Caldwell-ish area. What would be something that you would say to somebody that maybe lacks the hope or the vision of being a professional young adult in the Treasure Valley or in Caldwell or in this area?
It's a really good question. The first thing that comes to mind when I think of that is when I was a reporter in Montana. It was so difficult. I was by myself. I was in a bureau, so I wasn't in the newsroom with people, and it was my first experience of news. And it was just so difficult. I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't really have anyone to talk to or ask advice from, but it just pushing through those hard times, pushing through adversity, because I feel like I would not be able to excel in this position that I have today without those trials and tribulations in Montana. I learned how to troubleshoot things like by myself, learned how to like take a step back, take a deep breath, figure out the situation, and just I feel like every opportunity, whether it's good or bad, you find like just push through that and know that there's something good inside of it, because at the time I was like, this is just so hard. And then like 3 or 4 months in, I just finally like grew into a reporter and like knew what I was doing and knew how to do it. And it taught me like so many good skills of just like how to ask for what you want, which is really weird because I would always like be scared to just like ask for what I need and to just like get to be confident. And so if you have a job right now that you know you don't really like, but because you're using it as a stepping stone to get somewhere, just there's always going to be something good in it, and you're going to realize like how much you learned in that to help you in your next steps. I guess that's the best advice that I have.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's some young adults that I've heard from that, especially in Caldwell, you know, they don't see a lot of opportunity professionally here, but it's like, here you are, you're doing it. Mm-hmm. You know, you're making it happen, you're making it work. You know, you have a place, you have expensive hobbies, and you're just living the dream, I feel like. But thanks for sharing that. What would you say, let's go back to like the Caldwell School District now. What are some things that most people wouldn't know about the district that you get to, in a positive way, you know, get to see and deal with and interact with?
Also another loaded question. There's so much good. I really do appreciate just the community of Caldwell and the city of Caldwell and the Caldwell School District, because there's so much tradition here in the district is something that I really appreciate. Because I went to a brand new school, I was, I guess, kind of building that tradition in a way, and so it's really cool to come here to Caldwell, and they have the homecoming parade, and it goes through the whole town, and there's just paintings all around the city of just tradition of just how long Caldwell High has been here. And it's really cool to kind of tell those stories and tell those traditions and all of those really cool things. And I've also, there was a yearbook in this room over here the other day, and we were looking through it, and there's so many former Caldwell High students who are now working for the district, and I just think that's so cool, just that they're building on that tradition, and it's just really neat that they're also giving back to the students now in Caldwell. And so that's one thing that I enjoy, is just we have some really cool staff and students here in the district, and it's fun to recognize them. So
yeah, sure. So tell us, you do a lot of the newsletter highlights of different schools and people and places. What are some that maybe just stand out to you? Maybe you've covered it already, maybe you just haven't had the time to just mention it, and you've meant to. But what are some of those that come to mind?
Well, we were previously talking, Nick Mendez and Jaleesa are just some two really cool students. They've done a lot of great things through Trio and IAC and things like that. So it's been really cool to highlight individual students' success because, you know, they've gone to Caldwell. I feel like it might have been a little different if they were in another district, but it's really fun to highlight individual students' success, but also our staff members and just the new opportunities that our district kind of gets every year to help students succeed and to help students learn. But I'm going to try to do more kind of staff highlights this year. We have some pretty cool staff members that I kind of want to showcase that they're really doing good things to help students. They go above and beyond to make sure that students are successful. So I haven't made a huge dent on my list of story ideas for this year in destination education, but we're working on it. So we have some family nights coming up for the district for sports, and so I think that's also a really opportunity for families to go out and to support our student athletes, because they really do enjoy when the community and family members can come watch. So it's an opportunity to have affordable ticket prices for the whole family to come out. So that'll be really cool to come watch our student athletes and to kind of highlight that, because I talked to our athletic director last week about it, and he said that our student athletes really enjoy the community coming to watch them play. So because, like I said, this district is about tradition, and it'll be cool for them to come back and kind of watch the soccer team play on the field that they used to play on and things like that. So
right. I think you mentioned the CTE, right? The Career Technical Education Program, right?
Yes.
I've actually had the honor and privilege to actually talk to some of the people who are in that program, but why don't you go ahead and just highlight just what on your side of things, I guess, that program.
Well, there's so many career technical education courses that are available for students now. It's an amazing welding program here at Caldwell High. They actually welded this big, beautiful American flag that will be hung up here in the boardroom shortly. And they can get a ton of welding certificates to do that. And then we also just added a pharmacy tech program, which is amazing. Which it falls under like health occupations, I guess. And then Dr. French touched on it too, our agriculture program. There's just so many courses that they just keep adding, and it's really neat to see students take advantage of those opportunities to kind of, because it's also, because in college you take your gen ed classes, right, to kind of figure out what you are wanting to pursue, and it's kind of gives students an opportunity to do that in high school. Like, oh, what is welding? I don't really know much about that. Let me just take that, and they can learn if they like that or not. So then, they don't have to, go to college to, figure that out. Or what is agriculture? Or what is pharmacy tech? Or what is this and that? And so they can kind of get their feet wet and learn a little bit more about that. And then if they, like that, they can continue to kind of hone in on that craft and, maybe make that into a career or major in that in college. So it allows students to take advantage of that and to figure out what they're really interested in. And I think we actually just added a teacher cadet program.
Oh,
I'm not
nice.
sure if that falls under CTE, but it allows students to kind of learn what teaching is, and to hopefully come back and educate students in the Caldwell School District. So I think that's also a really neat opportunity, because I feel like it really showcases what a teacher does, every day in the ins and outs. And because I feel like, just as a student, you're like, oh, they're just my teacher, they just come and they grade my math homework or whatever, and it kind of shows, the ins and outs of what they do every day. So I think that's also a really good program that is starting this year. So.
Oh, good. So it gives them a taste.
Yes.
I think some students, if they're honest, they think the teachers live, at school or on campus, and when they see them out and about, they're like, what? You go to the grocery store?
Yeah, no, you can't do that.
Right.
You're a normal person.
What are some other things that might come to mind about just things that you would want to share, or things coming up that we haven't talked about yet?
Things coming up? Oh, I might have to edit this out.
Okay.
Let me...
Well, I guess what I mean is go ahead and plug whatever else you want to plug, unless there's something else you want to talk about or veer towards.
Well, I guess I can just talk about... Well, I have a weekly segment called Destination Education that I do every week, and it's kind of just a mini newscast, and it highlights the positive things happening in the district that week. And I have really enjoyed being able to do that, because when I first started, I felt like I didn't know much about the district, didn't know anybody, and actually being the boots on the ground and getting to meet these students and these staff members has helped me just learn more about the district and the great things that are happening. And there's just been some times where, in life you're just really stressed out or whatever, and I can think of a time where I went and I interviewed a choir student, and she was just so intelligent and so articulate, and it brought me to ease, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is just so cool. Like, she was just such a unique young lady, and it just made me forget about being stressed. And so I just want people to know that we have some really great students, and they're doing some really good things in the community, and hopefully my weekly segment can kind of showcase that and the positive things that our students and our staff are doing, because I really enjoy it. So hopefully you guys enjoy it, and it's not very long, so quick
Cool.
little little bites. So
nice. All right. Well, Jessica, thank you so much for just taking time out of your busy schedule to talk to us, allow us to get to know who you are, what makes you tick, and what is going on.
Well, I'm flattered you wanted to
at the
interview me.
district.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Cool. Thanks.